In this world the planet has gravity, inverted where the people who live above rich and those below are poor. Each one seems to be upside down. Down in each other's world they don't can visit each other because their own gravities will be reversed. The rich will fall into the depths and the poor flew to the sky. Beating is a adventurous teenager who loves explore the danger zone. She lives in an underground village and it's the princess, since her father was the boss at underground civilization in which she lives, has an incredible network of tunnels. Many times she is scolded by her elder for recklessly exploiting, mainly for getting close to the zone. Dangerous regardless. Lagos when she was younger. Unfortunately Lagos took a trip and Lagos never came back. Photograph of the true she keeps in secret from others. One day to theme will explore the dangerous zone where she scares with someone's dreams. Walking she catches a smallpox around, scared and wonders if maybe she should come back soon. She comes across a figure with red eyes. Bright the figure advances against her and she falls backwards. She swiftly sways her stick her to keep the figure away from her. She notices the figure walking on the ceiling, realizing that's what she knows as the Batman. The Batman strikes again, disarming her, and she starts to run, stopping only when it reaches the end of the bridge where she looks back to see the Batman not attacking her, not having to where to go. She kneels and bows to the side to catch her breath, but the iron on which she leaned rusty broke under her weight and she fell to the floor. She wakes up in a jungle area and tries get out of there. While doing that her purse slips out of your hand and gets caught in a fence. She will seek strength and when she arrives faces a boy her age. The boy is perplexed to see it reversed and asks how she does it, but the grip of hitting a fence slips and she starts to fly upwards. She asks help from the boy who extends her hand, but now both go up. Hit one releases her bag which reduces the weight and they get off. That they both go to one abandoned warehouse with her holding her arm, afraid of falling to the sky. Once inside hit a loose hand from her and steps on the ceiling. She breathes a sigh of relief and carefully reaches the top outside the door to see the sky, remembering that if looks exactly like the photo that Lagos gave it to her, but she realizes that her sense of gravity is reversed, so gets scared. The boy asks if she is one of the inverted people and she stays and asks what is this place where everything hangs from the ceiling, where he responds that she who is hanging from the ceiling, but she notices that he is hanging on ceiling from her perspective and gets scared because she knows that only the Batmans are able to do this. She begins to panic and become more distressed when he yells at her to calm down, and she realizes he didn't harm her, just saved her. He asks if she went attacked by someone, then it collapses, thinking about what she should do. Now soon these irons start to play and he in shape. He will have to come back to school or he will have his citizenship revoked and will be under surveillance. Panics because she doesn't want to be left alone and asks him what it is more important, the school or her, but him assures her you'll be back and telling her it's called her too, says her name in return, and he goes to school. Is almost sunset when he comes back with some bread for her leaving. She very excited because she wanted to see him already, that she was very bored. Later hit a date they're sitting next to outside looking at the process. He asks her to join him watch the stars, which they refuse, and if it scares you because they scare you so much. Seeing the reflection of the stars in the suitcase, Sheila is curious and carefully go out to see the stars, getting mesmerized by the beauty. Then since when she about her dad, who too loved the stars and made a machine flying being that everyone was against, he where when he fell from the machine he ended up dying and the others called it divine retribution. Patema tells him that she understands how her father felt about the stars, saying they are yes, beautiful, and both share a look of understanding it but feel happy for to have come into this world and witnessed his beauty. Then ask you if she came underground and wrapping it talk about her house and how cramped it is not having open space. Suddenly they come for Batman's coming towards them, if scares and hides, and he talks to they run away, but when we hit look down in the sky she feels very afraid, so he tells her that the guards are coming to get her, being that they believe that those who go to heaven are sinful and loathsome to her. Asks if he believes that too and he denies it then with his determination. Newfound she holds your hand and gives a jump while acting runs with her. Looking back to see the bouncers fight one by alerting him to look forward where he cannot see. Huge crater in which he ran until they end up falling but they land with security with the weight of hitting a pulling up like this since tells her that he can take her back home. Jumping over the fence so run on direction to the batons and hit one between. Panic a little but when he jumps about them she is happy because the two they were flying but their happiness was not lasted a long time because she managed to be captured by a net two security guards with the ex of separating from her so she wakes up seeing that she is chained and seeing a man enter she tells him that hates this inverted world and he replies that she doesn't know how inverted people appeared. She looks back and is startled to see a huge painting of some people being swallowed by the sky. The man tells her that long ago some wicked people tried to use gravity as a source of energy but your experiment failed and as a result gravity was reversed around the world and not to repeat the same mistakes a nation was created, a nation that gives comfort to its people by strict law and order, and this guy is a tyrant. He informs that the experiment also created the creatures inverts who chose to live in the underground, saying don't want none. Eagle person associating with someone from underground hit a question confusingly, what does he mean by sin? He replies that it all began when an investee came to Aga where we hit turn around to your horror to see the corpse of Lagos, your childhood friend, that disappeared into a container of glass filled with a liquid. She falls from knees in shock and he speaks that the inverted tried to overthrow his orders in the city along with one of his citizens, takes her to the window and threatens to drop her in the heaven. Getting scared she closes her eyes and grabs his arm. Then Isaura remember that now she will have to trust on it to live beating is moved to the higher floor with your bed on the ceiling, glass and a weight attached to her leg. She looks at the bed and has a flashback of being threatened with being thrown into the sky and is left with fear. She squints her eyes in fear, calling for the EXI that to his astonishment, he comes and embraces infiltrated that tower. With port help to save Pa Theme, demands apologizes to her for leaving her alone and she cries in her relief. Moment of happiness and interrupted when they see the lights being turned on and hear the footsteps of the guards from the game. A chair on the ceiling breaking glass and, along with the theme, they run but they stay in danger because we hit a weight attached to leg that can make light fly to the sky. So Zamura comes kicks her ex while holding Isaura's mother gun to her subordinate and asks him to shoot Age, but we hit if releases by kicking and launches himself against Age. That acts quickly secure in it flying to the sky. As I go up and seem to reach for the sky, they realize that the stars that win artificial lights produced by machines. They find her purse and her father's flying machine act stuck on the floor of the flying machine. They find Age's father's diary. As they start to read the diary, he discovers that his father was the one who hid Lagos when he went to Aga, where with your help his father made the machine flying, and her father's plan was later of the experiment to help Lagos fulfill your dream to unite all mankind, was closer to lakes than her. The next day to have a claim that place is too hot for walking through. The machines happily finds the lever to release the machine from its father, and I go downstairs with her. While flew down they saw the agents of security spotted them, and to avoid being jobs Patema suggested to skip. When Age asked if she was afraid, she replied that while she is with him you will no longer be afraid. Together he jump out of the flying machine and go on direction. About a net was cast against them, but they were successful in avoid being jobs and jump the fence. Knocking reached the basement where Door and his people were holding his funeral, thinking she was dead. To see her hold, everyone rejoiced. Where one hit sadly shaped her father about the destination of Lagos, so act delivery to his father's bag that contains the notebook of lakes. So they were attacked by the Loves and their men who chased beat up the inverted world. Will help inverted people. Flying machine coming down behind them, fearing it will crush them to the ground. She kicks and changes trajectory and lands with security on the floor of the well door's flame. Towards the stairs then act give a step towards the door when a bullet hits the ground right in front of you each. Hitting face the blackberries, what a question. Why doesn't he let her go since she's a sinful creature? Hit one of the keys, fearful eyes and hugs tight 8. Isa Amor shoots a bullet in the right leg, where he kneels still not leaving. They love threatens to take out on him again if he doesn't leave her she gives herself to. Isara desperately hit a burrow, but he just holds her tighter. That one refuses to leave her they love points to your gun for him to take again. Door suddenly the attack manages to take his weapon but love throws it to the sky where hit one shouts the name of the door while watch him fall mind Isara got it. A knife to finish. Goes to fight against Isara where he takes the knife from his hand to stab him but he misses and the knife falls from his hand. Isamura holds Patem's hand and is ready and drop it in the sky. However the ground below of Zamura's feet cracked due to Ajita have hit the cracked ground. They now are exposed to a world totally new on the ground where Zamor now stands, flying upwards with just the weight of hit one holding him. Soon the machine flying I go towards them and Bates love separating from Patema where it flies to the sky with flying machine then notices that they are flying upwards. The weight of hitting one is not enough to land the two. Jake then launches a net to catch them and save them from look to hit one that is still unconscious and he also loses the EJA awareness awakened by Patema and see the whole new uninhabited world. Your grandfather tell them that a long time ago terrible experiment was conducted, resulting in many lives falling to the heaven where, because they feel guilty, scientists were supervised survivors who went underground. So those who did the experiment abandoned their life on the surface, living underground, thus revealing that it was the people of Aga who reversed the gravity and the survivors. Experiments Sao Aldea Pathin will see its new world now and Ish asks to that she takes with her, so both of them grab ignoring the real Earth's surface with thousands of ruins, open sky and birds around the moon. Thanks for watching. Say subscribe to receive more beautiful stories and leave the like. Until next.